get going this morning. So if you're on early this morning, give me a comment. Let me know who's going to be watching this. If you're watching this later, absolutely go ahead and comment anyway. We'll get this taken care of for you. So thanks for joining me. Normally we do this on Tuesday morning, but as you know, we are in the midst of the coldest wave that I can remember, probably in about 10 years. My kids can never remember walking across the pond, so it's been a different week. I give all my friends up in Minnesota and Wisconsin and Canada a lot of heck because last winter we were just up there and played in this, and they're normal. As this is normal for them, but not normal for us at all. So so yesterday I spent the day helping people get into some hotel rooms and getting heat in their house, and just didn't have the time to sit down and record some golf and God. But anyway, so hope everybody's doing good. Super cold. It's going to get better. That's one of my favorite Bible verses. It talks about many good days, and so I think when you have many good days, you have less bad days, and so I'm always encouraged by that. But it's been different. I hope people's livestock are good, and gosh, I mean, when's the last time we've seen rolling blackouts through the Midwest? Even in the heat of summer, I don't think we've seen it. I know the West Coast and my friends in California talk about them all the time on Facebook and social, but I don't think that we've ever had to experience that here. So that's a little unique, and I know Texas had those. We here in Kansas, I think most of Kansas actually got to skip that. So thank you for that. Anyways, I want to challenge you today. We're going to talk about restoration because when we go through a time like this, I think it's important to remember what's on the other side. And that's kind of where I have to just continually keep myself. I was talking with a friend this week and encourage them to, I just try to apply some things that I have learned. Good morning, Lisa. And just that is what you're constantly exposing yourself and putting into yourself, whether it's podcasts or TV shows or radio or whatever, social media or whatever. The more stuff that you put in that is not in line with the Bible, the quicker you're going to get off track in your life. And what's on track for your life? Well, I mean, everybody has a purpose in life. Everybody has a goal. Everybody has a destination that God has designed for them. And I think anytime that we put things in our life that don't line up with that, nothing good's going to come out of that. So anyways, that's a whole nother topic. But I'm just going to encourage you right now in these times where you're being tried. There's one guy in the Bible that we should study more than anybody, and that is Job. And man, if you look at Job and what he went through, the loss in his family, his career, his land, like he lost it all, right? He to the point where he didn't have any clothes to wear, poverty to the end. But he was fully restored, and not only fully restored, but actually God gave him double what he had. And while we don't have all the answers as to why Job went through what he went through and the circumstances that happened there, we do know that the end transpired the way that it did. And so I want to challenge you today that as a believer, and I'm talking just about the times in your life that you decided to follow Jesus as your Savior, to hear. And I want you to look back in that. When has God not restored whatever had been taken from you? And I don't mean, I know that some people are going to say, well, he took my son, or he took my... No, he didn't. God didn't take your son. God allowed your son to be taken or your daughter to be taken, but that was your son's life. Your children are not your possessions, They're God's gift to us, and we're to take care of them while they're here. And so that's a poor example. But I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about when your car breaks down and you've got nowhere to go and you have no mode of transportation, or for those who've been divorced and came out of a bad marriage, I want you to look back as a believer. When has God not restored and given you better? And so I'll encourage you to really, really look at your life and look at that. And then if you have an answer for me, and you have an answer when he has not restored, or you think he has not restored, it is very, very highly likely that you're in the process of that restoration. The encouraging thing for me with Job was, I just learned a couple of weeks ago that the span of Job's trials and tribulations, they think, was about 90 days. But when you when you read Job and the book of Job, it's so bad. Like you in your mind picture that this has gone on for years and years. The pain and the hurt in the prayers that he expresses to God, it's intense. And so when I learned that it was 90 days, it's like, oh, wow, as bad as things got for Job, it was just 90 days. I say just 90 days. But I've been there. I maybe haven't been in Job's position, but I went through some pretty brutal things in 2020, especially the early of 2020. And now that I'm on the other side of it, would I do it again? Yep, because I knew I came through it. And but it wasn't easy, and it was not fun. But God restored, and He is continuing to restore everything that I thought I had lost. And so it's just really, really encouraging that. So I want to encourage you, if you feel like God has not restored where you are in your life right now, I want to encourage you to just hold steady, because you're in the middle of that restoration, and it is coming. So the verse I'll share with you out of Job comes at the end of Job 42:10, and it says, "And the Lord restored the fortunes of Job when he had prayed for his friends. And the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before." There's a couple of keys here. He restored the fortunes. We're talking finances. We're talking bill paying. We're talking paying employees if you're running a business. We're talking, and it said, when he had prayed for his friends. So that was key for me. Like, it wasn't just about Job. It was about his network. He didn't pray for strangers. He prayed for his friends. He prayed for people that were praying for him. And I found that encouraging. But of course, the last sentence, "And the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before." And I look at my life, and I look at the lives of believers that I'm around on a daily basis, and I see it. And so I just really, really want you to stay strong in your faith. If you're going through a trying time right now, just know that God will deliver you. He promises that. And He will restore you. In almost every instance that I can find in the Bible where God delivers and restores, He restored with more. And that's encouraging. Like that, just hold fast to that truth, and stay strong in your journey. And guys, increase your network. Make sure your friends are in line with your belief, and make sure that you've got those good Christian friends out there. Make sure you're watching, listening to good Christian insight that you can get, and that's so important. So click that share button for me today. Any and every time somebody can, for every video they're going to see on TikTok and social media today that might be contradictory, might be selfish, might be hurtful to others, they'll see this video and others like it. So when you see something that's positive and encouraging, make sure you click that and you share that. That's an easy way for us to spread the good news as it goes through there. So listen, it is still cold, but the warm is coming. I have looked ahead in the forecast. If it's reliable, we have many good days ahead of us. So anyways, you guys have a great morning. Thanks for joining me this morning. A day late, but we had some people to take care of, and that was important. So anyways, thank you everybody for joining us this morning, and don't forget to click the share button, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll be on the golf course.